Imagine a company that seemed unstoppable, valued at billions, praised by investors, celebrated in the media. Products were revolutionary, revenue charts skyrocketed, and its founders were hailed as geniuses. But what if all of it was a lie? For years, this company faked its success, deceiving investors, employees, and the public. Its rise captivated the world, and its collapse shocked it. Today, we'll explore how a company can appear flawless while crumbling behind the scenes, and the lessons every entrepreneur, investor, and consumer must learn. The billion-dollar illusion. From the outside, the company was a model of innovation. Technology, branding, and charismatic leadership made it seem destined to dominate its industry. Investors lined up, venture capital poured in, and the public bought into the dream. But inside, the story was entirely different. Revenue numbers were inflated, product claims exaggerated, and critical problems were hidden. Employees were pressured to maintain appearances, and whistleblowers were silenced or ignored. This is the story of the company that faked success for years, a cautionary tale about ambition, deception, and the danger of unchecked hype. Can a business truly sustain a facade for years without collapsing? Appearances can be deceiving. 1. The illusion of rapid success. From the very beginning, the company crafted an image of immediate dominance. Marketing campaigns painted a picture of innovation, while media outlets amplified the hype. Investors saw only the polished narrative, massive projections, high-profile endorsements, and glossy presentations. Behind the scenes, operations were chaotic, and growth was mostly simulated on paper. Success was mostly a performance. How can a company appear real while building nothing of substance? 2. Inflated metrics and fake revenue. A core strategy was manipulating financial metrics. Revenue numbers were grossly inflated using creative accounting, fake client contracts, and phantom deals. The company reported growth that didn't exist. Investors relied on reports without verification, and audits were either avoided or compromised. This allowed the company to secure millions in funding despite generating minimal actual income. Paper profits, not real revenue. Could billions of dollars really be based on fiction? 3. Product claims that couldn't be delivered. The company also made bold product claims that were impossible to meet. Technology promised revolutionary features, but in reality, prototypes were incomplete or non-functional. Marketing campaigns masked these flaws, creating a perception of breakthrough innovation, while internal teams scrambled to maintain illusions. Early adopters and investors were misled, believing in a product that didn't yet exist, or never would. Innovation was mostly smoke and mirrors. What happens when promises are bigger than reality? 4. The role of charismatic leadership. Leadership played a pivotal role. Founders were charismatic and persuasive, inspiring confidence and suppressing doubt. Employees were motivated to maintain the illusion, and investors were seduced by vision rather than scrutiny. This combination of charm and deception allowed the company to maintain credibility for years, even as cracks appeared behind the polished exterior. Charisma can mask incompetence. Could charm alone sustain billions in fake success? 5. Investor greed and herd mentality. Investors, eager for the next big thing, often ignored warning signs. Herd mentality amplified the illusion. If other respected investors were backing the company, newcomers assumed it was legitimate. Warnings from analysts, whistleblowers, or skeptical journalists were downplayed or dismissed. Fear of missing out blinded stakeholders, allowing the company to continue fabricating success without consequence. Greed and hype blinded everyone. Could groupthink really make billions appear real? 6. Employee pressure and ethical dilemmas. Employees were under enormous pressure to maintain appearances. Reports had to show growth, customer success stories were fabricated, and engineers were told to produce demos that looked functional but were essentially smoke and mirrors. Whistleblowers faced retaliation, layoffs, or career damage. Internal culture punished honesty, reinforcing the cycle of deception and enabling the company's facade to persist. Employees were forced to lie for survival. Could a team sustain a lie for years without cracking? 7. The catalyst for exposure. Eventually, cracks became too large to hide. External audits, investigative journalists, and disgruntled former employees exposed the truth. Product failures, financial discrepancies, and false claims were revealed, triggering massive public backlash. Once exposed, the company's credibility collapsed instantly. Investors withdrew, lawsuits followed, and employees were left scrambling. The illusion shattered in days, undoing years of deception. The truth came crashing down. How can one revelation destroy years of fake success? 8. Market and legal consequences. The collapse wasn't just financial, it was legal and reputational. Investors sued for fraud, regulators investigated compliance failures, and founders faced criminal charges. The case became a cautionary tale for the industry, emphasizing that deception may delay collapse but can't prevent it indefinitely. Reputation, trust, and legal compliance are essential, no matter how spectacular the growth appears. Fraud has consequences. Can anyone survive years of lies unscathed? 9. Lessons for entrepreneurs and investors. There are key lessons from this company's rise and fall. Scrutinize claims. Don't rely solely on charisma or hype. Verify financial metrics and growth reports independently. Encourage ethical internal culture to prevent systemic deception. Recognize that hype can amplify but also mask risk. Understand that unsustainable growth is always temporary. Due diligence saves lives and billions. Could anyone prevent themselves from being fooled? 10. The human cost of deception. Beyond financial loss, the human cost was immense. Employees lost jobs, investors lost life savings, and customers felt betrayed. Mental health, trust, and careers were all affected by the company's sustained deception. The story reminds us that business is not just numbers, it's people, and deception carries consequences far beyond the balance sheet. Fraud hurts everyone involved. What happens when ambition becomes a lie? 11. Modern relevance. In today's era of startups, venture capital, and social media hype, similar cases can happen again. Companies can appear revolutionary while failing to deliver. Investors and consumers must remain vigilant, applying skepticism and due diligence to avoid repeating history. The story is timeless. Success without substance is always temporary. Transparency, accountability, and integrity are the only ways to achieve lasting success. History can repeat itself if we ignore lessons. 12. Final takeaways. The company that faked success for years shows that appearances can be deceiving. Rapid growth, flashy marketing, and charismatic leadership may hide fundamental flaws, but reality catches up. Entrepreneurs should build sustainable, ethical businesses. Investors should verify claims independently, and consumers should approach hype with healthy skepticism. Lessons from deception are often the most impactful and unforgettable. Sustainable, honest growth wins in the end. Can we ever fully trust the next big success story? 13. The role of technology in masking failure. One of the most effective tools for sustaining the illusion of success was technology. Sophisticated software allowed the company to generate fake reports, simulate sales, and fabricate metrics that appeared real to outsiders. Automated dashboards showed real-time growth that never existed. Investors saw charts climbing, revenue rising, and adoption rates skyrocketing, all digitally fabricated. This created a false sense of security, making the company appear unstoppable even as the foundation crumbled. Technology can make fiction look real. Could digital illusions fool the smartest investors? 14. Media amplification of the illusion. Media played a huge role in prolonging the deception. Journalists, bloggers, and analysts repeated company claims without rigorous verification. Press coverage celebrated innovation and growth, amplifying investor confidence. Positive headlines created a snowball effect. The more attention the company received, the more legitimacy it seemed to have, discouraging skeptics from speaking up. In essence, media hype became a tool of deception, masking reality and increasing the company's credibility beyond its actual performance. Headlines can protect a lie. How much can hype hide the truth? 15. Warning signs that were ignored. Despite obvious red flags, missed deadlines, product flaws, and employee complaints, most stakeholders ignored them. Investors assumed issues were temporary, employees feared speaking out, and the public assumed perfection. The danger of ignoring warning signs is clear. The longer deception continues, the bigger the eventual collapse. Early intervention could have prevented millions in losses and preserved trust, but ego, greed, and fear of missing out delayed action until it was too late. Ignoring red flags is the fastest path to disaster. Could the collapse have been prevented if people had listened earlier? Fraud, hype, and deception can create illusions of success, but they cannot replace reality. The story of this company reminds us that trust, transparency, and ethics are more valuable than overnight growth or billions in paper wealth. Truth outlasts hype every time. Remember, the fastest rise built on lies always ends in collapse. Learning from these stories ensures that ambition leads to genuine, lasting success rather than a cautionary tale. Build success that lasts, not illusions that crumble.